Okay, so is the screen visible? Okay,
Yes,
so I
Anish.
Yes.
believe all the students who are present in the meeting, they don't have the mic access, right? But you can keep interacting with me through the comments. I want you to keep on commenting, and so that, see, it should be a two-way lecture. You should interact with me, and I will keep on giving you whatever I have planned for today. Also, the topic is like enhancing technical skills, is, we can say, kind of a very typical topic in this particular we can say period. We all are in the COVID scenario. Everything is going unplanned totally. We were going to the schools and colleges, and suddenly one fine day the news comes that we no more have to go to the schools and colleges. So most of them were happy initially, but as time passed we started getting bored sitting at home, and we were thinking, apart from studies, what we can do. At that particular moment, some of the students started learning technical skills, some of them started learning some other skills, others took this as an opportunity to develop themselves. And obviously, see, when we are talking about the entire ecosystem in general, some people might uh, say, let's say, they can focus on the skill development, while some people might go in the wrong direction, they might lose their time. And it is perfectly fine. Why? I'll tell you, because each one has got a decision making power, and it is you who have to decide what you have to do. So the people who are developing themselves now is going to be an investment for the future, because technical skills in particularly have got a huge demand in the market. You go and check out any person who is successful, he has got at least one technical skill, right? So once you have acquired a technical skill, it is you who will be leveraging that technical skill to encash your to encash that skill. You can encash it, you can teach it to other people, or there are many ways to go ahead. But I hope you recently had a lecture some time ago on personality grooming. So you understood what how personality should be to, we can say, convince people to lead a good life, all those things. But along with personality grooming, if you have got skills in some particular domain, it will definitely enhance your personality to a next level. So I think we'll start with the session for today. So let's say, what is the class what you are currently in? Seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th? You can keep on commenting, and I want the comments to keep on coming in as fast as possible, so that we can move towards the next slide, because we have got a lot of slides planned. And I'll tell you why I'm focusing on this particular topic so much, is because we are trying to build in something innovative, something which is not like other lectures, and we are hoping that you will like this particular session. So just keep on interacting as much as possible, and I'm sure by the end of the lecture you will gain knowledge, as well as it will be an interesting lecture for you. Yes, okay. I think I won't be going every time to check the comments. So I should, if there are any comments, you can please let me know.
Sure. There's one comment from 12th, one is from 10th. So I
Okay,
think,
so I will take an average of, let's say, 7th standard to 12th standard, right?
right.
From
And some are also from engineering. So second,
perfect.
third year also.
So we all are from the different walks of life. Engineering students already have started developing some kind of technical skills, while the 11th and 12th students are yet to decide what we have to do in near future. And 7th, 8th students are quite enjoying their COVID holidays right now. So going ahead, let's go. What are technical skills according to you? So don't read the slide, okay? You see, the slide is made for a formality. We have to show something when we are teaching, but I personally prefer interacting more. So when I say technical skills, anything which is related to accomplishing a particular solution for a particular problem is what I call as technical skills. So if you go and check in the entire engineering domain, we say engineering is a technical field, right? So if we go and check out any particular domain in engineering, we will find out that there are computer, civil, mechatronics, mechanical, electrical, electronics, IT, computer, so many are there. At the end of the day, whatever the people learn there, what is the goal of that particular thing is to develop something which can solve a problem. A problem statement is given and you have to deliver a solution for that. So if you see, we are surrounded with problems. It's not that we don't have any problems. It's not that only the industry has the problem. Wherever you're sitting right now, you might be feeling hot or you might be feeling cold. Accordingly, you will turn on or turn off the fan above you or the AC, whatever. But each and everything is a solution to a problem. If there are no problems, there will be no need to develop a solution, right? So let's say I'm sitting in a classroom and my table is not comfortable for me. So what solution to this problem can be taken as is, I will, let's say, cut a particular portion. I will, we can say, join something new to the particular table and I will make it comfortable for me. That again required some kind of technical skill. I need to know how to do carpentry. Trust me, even the carpentry or a carpenter is a technical person because that is a technical skill. Diploma is there, diploma in we can say ITI diploma, all these fields, these we can say these pave you towards technical domains. Now you can see in the non-technical side, there are so many fields. There is CA, CS, doctor, many are there. But those people are trying to solve their problems. But if you see, they are solving their problems with the help of technical solutions. So at the end, the core skills which you require to sustain in this particular world are technical skills. You might be feeling this everything whatever I told you till now, that's very common, right? But you need to understand and develop a perspective towards the technical skill in such a way that you don't have to fear it. You have to embrace it. You have to start learning it. Now, I won't say from today onwards, everyone will go take a saw in their hand and they will start cutting the wood logs which are fallen in your yard. That's not what I'm trying to emphasize here. By technical skills, I'm trying to say the people who are in 7th standard to 10th standard, they have a lot of time in their hand because even the 10th standard, 10th is not yet over, right? So you can explore as many technical skills as you want. There is a wide and a huge range. Programming is there. You can go and try learning programming. Mechanical is there. You can try and exploring the mechanical things yourself. Then we can say there is electrical is there. Play a bit safe with that, but yes, you can go and experiment with the stuff. I still remember when we were very young, like 2nd standard, 3rd standard, we used the small cell, electric cell, and we connected it to an LED, and we used to be excited. We used to be uh, very happy to see the LED glow, and we felt like that was an achievement. I'll tell you my journey also, how like at what particular phase what I did and how I could possibly try to achieve what small things I have achieved till now. Okay, so let's read what's written. Technical skills, often known as hard skills, refer to specialized knowledge and expertise needed to accomplish complex actions, tasks, and processes relating to computational and physical technology, as well as a diverse group of other enterprises. Now, you know, when you say I'm going to learn a technical skill, it's not always going to be easy. There are going to be tens and hundreds of hurdles in your particular journey towards achieving technical skills. But does that mean you have to stop learning somewhere? Does that mean you have to change your field completely? Does that mean that you will be disheartened and you will say, I don't want to do anything, and you'll just leave away? See, all these thoughts, these keep on coming in your mind from time to time, whether it is studies, co-curricular activities, extracurricular activities, or even games. If you are good at some sports and you fail miserably 2 or 3 times, you might feel, right, I don't want to do this anymore. But that is, that is called as the threshold. That is the point where which will decide what you are going to make yourself from your what you are going to make your life from that particular point. A particular point always comes in your life where you have to decide, shall I do this or not? If you are a good, we can say, baton relay runner, you have always, the school games and Olympics also, there is the baton relay runner. You're a good baton relay runner in your school and you fail 3 or 4 times. You come to a stage where you have to decide, should I continue this or should I leave this? If you leave it, then your life starts going in a different direction. If you continue it and you put in more hard work and then you start winning the games, obviously your life goes in a different direction. Exactly same is with the technical skills. Not always your circuits will work. Not always whatever mechanical design you're planning will be stable. It might fall, it might crash, anything. By the word crash, I also would like to emphasize, whatever code or programs you're writing, never they will run in the first attempt. Obviously, if you're in the you're in the real world, you're not in the ideal situation. And what ideal situation is, in the college and in the schools when we are writing programs, right? That time we have got some teacher with us. That time we have got our friends around us who will tell us, okay, there is a particular syntax which is missing, there is a semicolon which is missing, the code is wrong. So you can rectify your code, you can correct your code, and you can go ahead. But what about the real world? You're sitting in the office, your boss has told you to write a code, and you don't know how to write the code, and there is no one nearby. What is the feeling that you get at that particular moment? I have personally experienced that same feeling exactly 1 year ago. That I will tell you in the when I share my experience. Let's go ahead. Okay, basically technical is nothing but analytical thinking, logical reasoning, time management, mathematical skills, problem solving. The most important thing which you have to focus here is problem solving skill. Try to find a problem, try to create a solution for that. Obviously that solution should be feasible. It should not be like the problem is so small and you're creating such a huge solution that is not a feasible solution. Okay. Yeah. So let's start with the first lesson. The first very important lesson. It's never too late to start. Even the people who are right now in 7th to 10th range, people who are 11th to 12th standard, and people who are in the engineering, all three sectors can start a new I can start learning a new technical skill anytime you want. It's been I think 2 years since my engineering has got completed. I'm not too old or I'm not too old with white hair and all. You can see a few white hair, but that is due to the traveling which I am doing a lot currently. Okay, so I'm almost of somewhere nearby your age, so I understand what problems you're facing, and I have tried to put in all those problems which you might face while you're learning technical skills. And all those problems, what are the solutions, how you can defeat those problems, I have tried to answer them from my end. And at the end, you can definitely go ahead and ask your questions too. Okay, so let's start with the first one, that is, it's never too late to start. So I told you, whatever age you are right now in, you can always start learning a technical skill. Rather, forget about technical skill. You can always start something new. You know the owner of KFC, right? I think his name was Colonel Sanders. So he started KFC at the age of 70. So at the age of 70, most of the people think, okay, let me start counting my final days. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and they go. But Colonel Sanders somewhere thought, no, I have got a new taste in my mind and I have formulated it. So let me start with the business. And that business is running a multi-billion company right now. That technical skill which he tried to develop in him is making him run a business, multi-billion business. Then Very prominent examples I will take. There are few kids, okay, let's say 12 years old, 13 years old, and you go and just search these people on the internet. 12-year-old entrepreneur starting his own business. Do you think these people are from the Mars or somewhere? Are they aliens? No one is, we can say no one is different. We all are the same. You, me, we both are the same. You can also do anything what you want. The only thing is there is a particular, we can say, path which you have to follow. You should always be on the correct path. You should have the right guidance. You should have the right people around you, and you should realize when to take which decision. That is the most important thing. So coming back to never too late, technical skills can be learned at any age and any stage in your career, whether you are a high school student or a professional with many years of experience. You can still work on a new skill and switch to a different career path, whether it is a newfound interest or something that's creating a boom in the industry. It's always worth giving a shot. So a small incident from this particular slide I will share with you. When I was in the first year of my engineering, I had recently developed a craze for ethical hacking, and I was in search of people, books, and content and resources, what all I could find where I can develop this hacking. See, around the year 2015, hacking was not a very prominent word, but somewhere in every college, some person knew hacking, some person knew what is cybersecurity, some courses were offered in the market. But I was a guy like, see, I had taken admission for electrical engineering, but I had that particular passion for cybersecurity. So what I used to do is I used to go to the library. I used to find out books which I could, and I used to just read them, understand them, try to apply them, all the all the basic stuff. Whatever you guys do when you find a new skill, or let's say when you find a new hobby, you just put in your 100%. Whatever passion you find, right? You just put in your 100% to that, and then you can find how what the wonders are coming out of it. Now, uh, the thing is, when I was starting to learn cybersecurity, the industry had just started growing, and that too at a very fast pace. At certain times, I used to think if I don't hurry up, maybe the industry will go ahead of me and I will be left behind. And that's why I started learning at a very faster pace. Even today, when I look behind, I say, no, it was not too late to start, because I could have started earlier. I could have started when I was in 12th standard, but till 12th standard, I didn't even know what cybersecurity was. Opportunity comes at a particular moment. It is you who have to decide when you have to take that opportunity. Develop an interdisciplinary approach. Now, what is interdisciplinary approach? If you are studying history and geography, you are definitely going to study science and mathematics because you have to go for those exams too, right? But the problem is when you try to study other subjects, you just get messed up. You just start getting confused, and that's where you have to, we can say, segregate all these things in your mind in such a way that when you're learning science, your complete focus is on science. When you're learning maths, your complete focus is on maths. Don't think about science when you're learning maths. Now, this example I tried to frame it for the 7 to 12 people, but when I'm talking about engineering people, if you're in a particular stream, let's say you are in the electrical stream, electrical department, and you think you have a skill in programming or coding. When you're developing that particular skill, go read books, find resources, learn as much as you can, but don't mix it up. As like, if you try to mix it up, then you are definitely going to mess up your particular mind. You won't understand what you're learning. You will have so much on your head. You will also have electrical, you will also have coding, and it will just create a mess. So interdisciplinary study shows how you can manage things differently, shows how you can manage so many particular we can say knowledge streams. I did electrical, I did cyber security, I also did we can say what's that recently it's going on, cryptocurrency. So I also did something in cryptocurrency, I also did something in darknet, I also did something in the industrial domain. So why I could manage all these things, or let's say how I did all these things, how I could manage all these things, the secret behind that is just take a deep breath and keep it different. By this particular statement, I mean to say, you are reading your book, your mind, your eyes, everything should be in that particular line what you're reading. See, you after a few years, when you will be doing different activities, let's say you're doing a job, your boss will come and he will keep on putting pressure on you, he will keep on putting more and more work on you. But that does not mean you have to just get stressed out of all that work. Just segregate it, filter it out, prioritize it, what needs to be given the priority, complete it, and then move on to the next. Once you have moved on to the next, don't think about the one which went in the past, because that is done. You don't have to waste your memory on thing which is already done. You have definitely, you see, everyone, like whether it is a 7th standard kid or a 2nd standard kid, everyone has been using a mobile device nowadays. Mobile device, laptop. Think of your mind as the processor of that laptop. If you overload with various applications, it is just going to heat the laptop, and your laptop or a mobile, it's going to be heated and it will turn off, it will switch off. But we don't want to switch off, right? So what we should do is we have to prioritize things. Now I have to do this, now I have to do that, later I will be doing this. So create a mind map of whatever you're going to do. What are the benefits of interdisciplinary learning? You have a knowledge of so many fields. You literally become the master of so many fields. There was a saying in English that basically there is a saying in English, jack of all and master of none. Well, after these many years of going through the technical learning, I would like to change it a bit. You should be jack of all and master of one, not the none, but one. What I mean by this is, jack of all means you have to know every field, because anytime, anywhere, anyhow, you can get an opportunity. So you should have a knowledge. Let's say tomorrow I go outside, I lose everything, whatever I have. And while going on a construction site, I see there are people working. I go to the manager and I say, sir, I don't have anything to do, but I have some knowledge in civil. So can you let me work here? At least I can earn something. Every technical knowledge has got a significance. Every single technical, you learn computer, obviously it has we can say significance. You learn mechanical, you know how things work, you can design things your way. Also the people who are younger, very young people here, they have a huge opportunity. There are so many problems going on outside. I'm not saying the COVID problems. Obviously, COVID problems also you can solve using technology. There are so many companies, there are so many startups which are working in using technology to reduce the COVID scenario. There are so many problems around you. You just have to find the innovative solution for that. The moment you find innovative solution, you have to learn those things. Okay, increased cognitive gains, authentic real life learning, increased critical thinking and problem solving skills, highly engaging, highlights learning strengths, opens doors for students to develop interest in variety of content areas, and student centric. So many different benefits of interdisciplinary learning, right? Okay, now one last slide on interdisciplinary learning. I hope you understood what is interdisciplinary. Let's say you are doing one thing and you want to do many other things along with it. That's what we call interdisciplinary. But there is also a bit difference between interdisciplinary, multidisciplinary, and transdisciplinary. And the this we can say the differentiation we can understand with the help of these three, we can say, food items. Stew, which means, let's for example, let's take um, clear veg soup. You all know what is a vegetable soup, right? There are many vegetables inside it, boiled it, and along with some, we can say, uh, condiments, we are just going to eat that particular soup. Then there is salad, and then there is cake. If you see, in a in egg soup, there is egg is there. In salad, in, let's say, non-veg salad, there will be some we can say egg, or boiled egg, or most probably raw egg won't be there, but boiled egg will be there. And in cake also egg is there. But if you see the role of egg in all of these three, that is different. In stew, it was only we can say it was inside the water. Some of its qualities have mixed up with the water. Some of its qualities have mixed up with the soup. In salad, egg is completely different. It has got a different identity. You eat the egg, you get the taste of the egg. Whereas in cake, you can't even tell the difference where the egg went. So these are the three different interdisciplinary approaches, or let's say types of interdisciplinaries, which you can implement in your life. You can learn something which will have little bit significance. You can learn something which will have completely different approach, which will give you a completely different path in your life. And you can learn something which you will be using to lead your life. And that is stew, salad, and cake of your life, right? Something which is completely different and might be helpful to you, that is stew. Something which is completely different but has a complete, we can say, it will give a different path to your life, and something which is going to help you lead your life, and that's the cake. So since morning you're sitting, you're feeling tired, and there are so many workshops and lectures going, and the teachers are also telling you join this lecture, join that lecture. So you might be bored, right? Everyone is trying to show you some PPT. They are trying to train you in some particular field. Even like till now, how much time have you crossed? We have gone around half an hour. We are just talking, and we're just talking about skills, right? Now let's try to do something fun. You all have watched cartoons, right? So which is the best cartoon you like till today? Put it in the comment box, and Aishwarya can tell me. Tell me all the cartoons which they are putting in.
Do you need the participant to switch on their audio?
No, ma'am, it's okay. We can have the interaction at the end of the session.
Okay.
Just at present, all the participants, you just keep your chat box open, and I will be asking you questions. You have to put the answers. Which cartoon you saw till today? Which was your favorite?
Okay, we have one Tom and Jerry.
There are so many cartoons, and you got only Tom and Jerry. There are more than hundreds of cartoons. Yes, keep it coming.
Okay, there's Doraemon, there's Oswald, Pingu, Noddy, Pokemon, again Doraemon, again Tom and Jerry.
So many cartoons you
Okay,
have seen
Shin-chan.
till today. Yeah. Okay, fine. Thank you for all the cartoons. Each and every cartoon had something to teach you, and we'll try to see what these cartoons tried to teach you. The first cartoon, let's go with Powerpuff Girls. Okay, now when I'm showing you these cartoon images, it does not mean you have to focus on the cartoon, but you have to focus on the skill which the cartoon portrayed every time. Okay, Powerpuff Girls always win against Mojo Jojo. So people who are from the 90s generation, like me, they might have seen this particular cartoon. Just give me 1 second. I'm so sorry. So if you remember this particular cartoon, you saw there was a Professor X or Professor some professor was there who created these Powerpuff Girls, and these Powerpuff Girls in every episode they are just trying to fight that particular Mojo Jojo, and in every episode the Powerpuff Girls win. Mojo Jojo always defeated. What I'm trying to say is, even in every cartoon, even in every episode, when Mojo Jojo was defeated, still the next episode Mojo Jojo used to come up with a trick to, we can say, demotivate Power Rangers or the Powerpuff Girls, or let's say to bring them down basically, right? And that is what we have to learn here. People will definitely come and try to demotivate you. Not always. Everyone who says congratulations to you is not the one who is actually congratulating you. They are not motivating you. Some people determine and come to demotivate you. You will always find people who will demotivate you, who will try to deter you from your path. If you have decided I will study for 2 lectures today, I will study for 2 subjects today, 4 subjects tomorrow, and 6 subjects day after, and you tell this plan to your friends, one of your friend will come and tell you, let's watch some movie, let's go outside and play, let's do something and waste time. His motive is not to spend time with you. Their motive was to stop you from achieving your goals. You know, dreams, you should have bigger dreams, you should have good goals. If you really go and understand the difference between dreams and goals, I'll tell you one line which you have to remember. Do not have dreams, but have perfect set goals. You should have goals in your life. Dreams are imaginary. You dream, I will be the president of India. That is possible or not possible. But when you have goals, I will crack the IAS exam. That is a goal. You will strive towards your goal. Whereas dreams, you will try to find people who are going to help you in getting your dreams fulfilled. Okay. So choose a good company to share your doubts and happiness. This is a very common mistake with this generation. I think there's mic. Someone's mic is on. Hello, Aishwarya, could you just confirm whose mic it is?
Anjali Wagmare. Wait, I'll try and mute the participant. Yeah.
Okay, thanks. Okay, so choose a good company to share your doubts and happiness. When you're sharing your feelings with your friends, right? See, those people who are your same age, they might or might not understand what you're actually going through, and they might not be able to guide you perfectly. So whatever is sharing, see, very easy example, okay? Very small kids, 4 or 5-year-old kids are sitting together. Let's say 3 or 4 kids are sitting together, and you bring in a chocolate, a big chocolate, and you give it to one kid. The other kids will definitely think, I should have also got it. Why is only he getting it? Now, they are 5-6-year-old kid. Let's come to a bigger age group, like your age group, 7th, 8th standard students around 13 to 15 years old. He's getting good marks. Why am I not getting it? So if I cannot improve my score, I will definitely try to bring his down. This is basic human mentality. You think only you are there in this? Forget about it. Let's go to a higher age group. Engineering guys. Engineering guys, what they will do is, okay, he's getting good marks. I will try to spend his time in, I will try to distract him from his work so that he gets less marks. Even engineering is fine. When you go to the business world, people are purely having a business mind. If he's earning more money, either I will make him pay for the money which he's earning so that he will have less money, or I will try to earn more by defending him. I will be his rival. This rivalry is across all age groups. We are humans. Our normal human tendency is to compete. But even if you have a good thought in your mind, people definitely have a negative thought, and you have to be safe from that negative thought. You have to be away from that negative thought. Because if that negative thought affects you, your progress will be hampered. You will stop where you are, right? Learn from your past and keep working on yourself. Be in the present, for that is the only way to create a better future. Don't keep on thinking, yesterday I lost marks in my exam, yesterday I lost money in a particular business, yesterday I did this, yesterday I did that. Yesterday is gone. You cannot change it. So just forget it. Tomorrow I will do this, tomorrow I will do that, tomorrow I will definitely complete 5 subjects. Who knows if you will be, let's say, available tomorrow? Who knows if something very important comes up tomorrow and you don't get time? But if you say, today after lunch, I will at least complete 1 subject. That is a realistic goal. That is what you have to follow. Now you will say, all these things, whatever you're telling, these are quite generic. But when I'm showing you these cartoons will somewhere engrave it on your brain what that cartoon used to teach us. So if I teach you 5 qualities today, you won't remember those 5 qualities, but you will remember those qualities in these cartoons, and that will help you in decision making whenever required. Let's go to the next cartoon. Every person who wants to learn technical, or who is, let's say, interested in technical, somewhere you might have heard about Dexter. Somewhere you had seen Dexter's laboratory when you were small. A small child, like by the size and age, everything is small. But that small child built his own laboratory, did his own experiments, and he created new stuff. You may not always find the perfect resources to enhance your skills, but that should not stop you from learning. Keep experimenting with whatever resources you have. Read relevant articles on the internet and try to perform those tasks to the best of your ability. Experiment without fearing the results. Now, when I say experiment without fearing the results, I don't want you to go tomorrow, take a small LED bulb, put it in the switch and turn on the switch. That is the complete idiotic idea. That is the most idiotic idea. Experiment without fearing results means don't think इसके आगे क्या होगा, अगर मैं ये करूंगा ये होगा या नहीं होगा. These things you don't have to think. Take the resources, whatever you have, gather those resources, try to do something on your own. You want to do programming, but you don't have a laptop, write code on the paper. Even if I know, see, writing code on the paper will not compile those codes, or let's say you won't find if there is an error, but writing that code on the paper will help you develop a logical reasoning. You will understand what you're trying to do. And when you get access to the computer, you can try those codes, whatever you had written. People who are interested in electrical, you can try some small stuff. But before trying any kind of stuff in electrical, I would highly recommend either you talk to someone or you learn those concepts before going ahead. Because see, I'll tell you why I took electrical engineering. When I was very small, right, 4th or 5th standard, I had a huge craze for electricity, and I thought electricity is such a wonderful thing. Like, we can't see it, but it can do so many wonders. Heat, we can say wind, then light, all these things I can get from electricity. I supply a bulb, I get light. I supply a motor, I get wind, let's say, air. And I supply it to a we can say thermocouple, I can see the heat. So there are so many applications in electricity, and I was wondered. So what I used to do is, whatever things we had in our home, right? Electrical things, when they used to be, when my parents used to just throw it away, I used to collect those things. I used to open it and I used to find how this thing works. What is the driving force behind it? Then I used to dismantle it. I used to, most of the things which I dismantled never actually came back together. That's a different thing. But when I used to dismantle it, I used to find out what is the purpose of each and everything in this, how I can make a new thing out of this. And this is the thought process. I told you, right? Build your own laboratory. You won't always get, we can say, food served on a golden plate, silver platter, which they say. You won't always get good things in your hand, but you have to catch hold of whatever is there. You want to learn something, you don't know how to start. Everyone has got an access to the internet. If you don't have an access to the internet, go and join a library. But you can't say I don't have access to resources. Back then when we were young, we didn't have access to mobile phones and internet so easily. Even our elders, our parents used to use internet which was around 115 kbps and all. Today everyone is using an internet which is 40 mbps. You can see the difference. That is the rate at which technology is growing. And at what rate is your technical skill growing? Tell me, have you tried to go and find out what technical skills you need to develop, what are good for your future? Okay, when we say that we want to learn something new, try learning something which is actually going to have a significance. If you learn something which you're never going to use in your life, why waste your time then? Just for the sake of hobby, if you want to learn, do pursue your hobbies when you have got a stable life, because that time no one will come and tell you why you're doing this. You already have a stable life. No one is going to ask you why are you spending your time, why are you wasting your time, because you know your responsibilities, you know what you're doing. Coming back to Dexter. So Dexter has got his DD, and you know the basic cartoon, right? He built his own laboratory, he combined things, he built his own tools. So that's what you have to implement in yourself. Be the Dexter, find out your own tools, resources, try to, whatever pocket money you get, just from that pocket money try to get some tools if you're working on some physical project. And when you go to the market with your parents, instead of buying novels and all those story books, try to get some experimentation books, books which have got experiments in them. Try to purchase that resources, and then you can explore on your own, because the more you explore, the more you learn. If today I tell you, let's see, HCl plus NaOH will give you NaCl plus H2O. Now the people who are, obviously everyone has known this particular experiment, right? HCl plus NaOH will give you NaCl plus H2O. That is the acid and base reaction where we neutralize it. But has anyone actually tried it? Now I can tell you one more thing. You will say, oh, sir, हमारे घर पे HCl कहाँ से आएगा? Who told you to try it with HCl? You have acids in your home, you have bases in your home, combine and see what is the reaction happening. And that is the small thing, that is a very small approach in thinking. You find your own solutions to find a way out of resource unavailability. This is how you have to create your own resources. Going to the next cartoon, that is Kung Fu Panda. So everyone might have seen this cartoon. If not, you can go ahead, you can check it out, because a 3-hour movie won't really disturb your career. But that 3-hour movie should be only limited to a 3-hour movie. 3-hour movie continues and goes on and on and on. And the parents then say, our kids are constantly watching the cartoons. So you are watching something, try to learn something from it, just not for the sake of entertainment. Find Master Shifu if you want to learn Kung Fu. What does this particular statement mean? Try to find an expert or a mentor who will genuinely guide you on your chosen path. You say, I want to perform experiments in electrical, but you don't know how to do it. So what do, you go on the internet, you search up stuff, and there are some people who have misled there. Some misleading ideas are there on the internet. And you try to do that and you fail miserably. And then you say, I will never do this again. I will never touch electrical again. Just go back, change your master, take a person who is actually expert in that field, and then do that experiments. That field will be heaven for you. If you find the right master, if you find the right guru, that particular domain becomes heaven for you, because any problem he is there for you. Any doubt, he will solve it for you. You have to put your own hard work. It's not that he will come and put hard work for you. He will just show you the direction and you have to follow it. Stay away from money extortion scams under the pretense of skill or competency development. पापा मुझे 10,000 रुपए चाहिए, मेरे को नया सर्टिफिकेशन करना है, मेरे को नया कोर्स करना है. Never go there. I will take a session with the parents also someday and I will tell them never to give your kids even 1,000 rupees for learning a skill. Why do you want to put in money? Because these all are fraudsters. These people who take huge amounts of money, they never guide you genuinely. You have ever gone to a temple or whatever religious place you go, you see the person who is there serving the god, he will never take loads of money and then he will tell you something good. Those are the Dhongi Babas who take money from you and they'll tell you something which might or might not happen, no one knows. But the person actually who is serving the god, he will give you the advice free of cost. He will tell you good about your life. He will give you advice about God free of cost. They will not charge you the money. Stay away from these money extortion peoples who say we will develop skills for you. No one has ever succeeded in that. Have a good mentor. Having a good mentor always helps you when you're in muddy waters. I'm trying to do a particular experiment. Let's assume I'm trying to create a code for solving a particular problem. And it's a 500 line code. And I get stuck at 456, line number 456. And I don't know how to solve it. So this is something which I have created. I have created such a huge code. At this particular moment, I cannot back out. I cannot say, nahi yaar, mere ko code hi nahi aa raha hai. I'm leaving it. But if I have a genuine guide, he will tell me on 456, you forgot to put a semicolon. And that is how a good mentor will always teach you. Good mentor in technical learning is very important because technical learning is a very vast thing. It is you can say that particular road has got many ways. You fall on the wrong way and you literally till the end you go on the wrong way. But if you choose the right path, till the end you reach the right path. You reach your destination. You reach what goal you had planned for. Use the internet intelligently to connect with the experts and make the most of it. I'm particularly mentioning intelligently because I know using internet is a piece of cake for today, for anyone, right? You all use the internet. You all, even this particular session, you're attending it through internet. So why I'm saying intelligently is because I have seen this scenario. I have personally experienced this scenario. You take up the mobile, you start going through the social media, and the moment you stop scrolling, you realize you have already crossed 3 hours. And then you start regretting, oh my God, I had 3 hours in my hand and I lost those 3 hours. Whoosh. Just gone away. And that's why see, internet is a huge thing, and whatever internet you are seeing today, that only is 4% of the actual internet. There is a lot more internet down there. Like we'll go that way some other day. In some technical session we will try to understand what internet is actually. So internet is filled up with so many things. You have to be intelligent and wise enough to choose what you want to go for. There is a lot of learning if you go like, trust me, if you have the internet right now in your hand, you can literally do anything, but you have to find the intelligent decision. People say they watch Doraemon, right? Back in those days, like in the 90s, there was one more cartoon which was known as Kitretsu, which most of you didn't watch actually. Everyone used to watch Doraemon and everyone fantasized that we want a Doraemon. We want a robot which will give gadgets for all our needs. This particular scenario I had seen in every youngster's house, every youngster's home, where the kid would say, I wish I had a Doraemon, I wish he could give me a bamboo copter, I wish he could give me a anywhere door, I wish he could give me this, that. Now what we have to learn from this particular slide is, okay, I'll tell you what Kitretsu is for the people who don't know. In Doraemon, we had Doraemon and Nobita. Nobita always faced some problems and Doraemon gave gadgets to fix those problems. Kitretsu is exactly opposite. Kitretsu is the guy you can see in the photo, and Kitretsu had a robot called Korosuke. And Kitretsu, whenever he faced any kind of problem, he created those gadgets for himself. So what do you understand from the line? You won't always find a Doraemon, but you can always be a Kitretsu. Yes, any comments? Okay, I think I'll quickly go ahead with all those cartoons which I have planned for you, and we can have a doubt solving session of, let's say, 10 minutes, because I'm sure you guys have got some doubts at least. Okay, by this line, you won't always find a Doraemon, but you can always be a Kitretsu. I mean to say, you will not be given ready solutions for your problem. Most of the times, you have to find a solution for your problem. You're learning a skill, you're learning a technical skill, and you don't find a book which you're trying to find. Go and find an alternative book. No one will come and serve you that book. In the practical world, if your internet is not working, try to learn that particular subject from your book. Don't fight for internet. You won't anytime get that internet. That's what I'm saying. Never ever in your life you will be given ready-made solutions. You always have to strive hard and try your best to get a particular solution. I hope this and you understood this. Tom never caught Jerry, but he kept trying. Try, but don't cry. That was the line which I had planned for this slide. But as we thought we are taking it in the cartoon way, Tom never caught Jerry, but he kept trying. Every episode you see, Tom is trying to catch Jerry. Sometimes he catches, but that's just for that particular episode, right? We learn a lot when we keep going and decide not to give up. We can learn that there are hidden strengths and potentials within us. We learn how to keep ourselves motivated. More importantly, we decide not to give up, and we learn how we can effectively convert our failures to success. If you can dream it, you can do it, and your dreams and goals are worth pursuing. If today you're trying to learn some technical skill and tomorrow you succeed in it, you will have an ego. You will have an ego saying, I started and I finished and I am the master of it. But that is the ego which will always bring you down. Keep trying. See, there are endless opportunities and there are endless times you will keep on failing. As I said, if you fail for multiple times, you reach a point of saturation. You feel, shall I continue or shall I not? If you continue, you have got experience. If you don't continue, you have wasted your time. Understood? You tried to learn something for years together. 4-5 years you invested 5 years of your time and you tried to learn a particular skill, and at a saturation point you come and say, I'm so tired, I just don't want to continue this and I'm leaving it. and you leave and you do something else. What about those 5 years? You literally wasted those 5 years. But you work for 5 years, you fail at your saturation point, and you say, I will keep trying. You have got 5 years of experience which showed you what you should not do, what all things will give you failure. The bulb guy, right? Thomas Alva Edison, he failed so many times, and what he said was, I have got 101 ways how you should not make an electric bulb. So those were very cliche examples, and that's why we took these cartoon examples. You might be scared, but courage will always bring you victory. You need courage to begin something. Today, if I say I want to learn a particular skill, see my time, I will check my calendar. My calendar will be blocked for the entire day. Where will I start learning? If I will say, no, I still want to learn something, I will skip some of my ongoing activities. Or this example, if this example you're not understanding, in your language, I will tell you, if you are trying to learn something and you're scared to learn, the only thing that can help you overcome that particular scare is courage. You just have to have some kind of daring. A little bit of daring will give you the ability to learn that particular thing. You will find your own time. You will find when you want to pursue the dream. Even the people who are going to give exams, they are scared, but a little bit of courage and you get the victory. Everyone is scared for exams, right? Even I am scared of the exams. When the exams comes, I feel like I should not give that exam. But we have to show courage. We have to go and sit in the classroom. We have to write the paper, and then we have to wait for the results, obviously. And then you get the victory. You need courage to begin something. Courage gives you the ability to put aside your fear of failure and take the first steps. Courage helps you overcome the fear of rejection and engage your stakeholders. Don't try to focus on the big words if you don't understand them. Whatever you're trying to understand, grasp it. Look at the image. That Courage the Cowardly Dog, that cartoon, that was such a huge hit, that particular cartoon. If you see that cartoon, he was always scared, but he had the courage to go and do that particular thing, to go and fight the evil. And every episode, at the end of the episode, that dog is victorious. He has victory. Even the name of the show is Courage the Cowardly Dog. He was a coward, but he had courage. You have to be scared. I'm not saying you should not be scared of anything, because the day you lose scare, we can say the day you lose fear, you will start falling, because you don't know what are the consequences and you will take unwanted risks. So you should fear things, fear everything, but have courage. Those are two different things, and you have to master those two things. Being courageous in the midst of fear can build your self-confidence. When I went and took my first lecture, I was scared. I could have run away from there, and that would be the decline of my career. I would have said, see, I was standing in front of 100 people. They were ready to listen to me. I was ready to speak. I was scared because I had never faced so many people. And if at that particular moment, I just opened the door and walked away, that would be the end. But I had some courage in me. I started speaking, and once I started speaking, I got the flow, it continued, and we got victory. So I hope you understood, even if you're scared, you have to show some courage. Humility is the best virtue. Mr. Bean doesn't wear a cape. Have you ever seen Mr. Bean wearing a cape and flying in the sky? No. Who is Mr. Bean? The actual actor's name is Rowan Atkinson. He holds an MSc in electrical engineering, but that did not stop him from accepting the role of a simpleton, Mr. Bean. If tomorrow I come to you and I say, okay, you have become a huge personality. Let's assume you have become a huge personality. Personally, all my best wishes for that. Let's say you have become a huge personality in your life. I come to you and say, hey, I have a role for you. I'm creating a cartoon. That cartoon is mute. You don't have to say even a single dialogue. You just have to come, act like an idiot, act like crazy, and you have to make people laugh. The first reaction which people will give is, are you an idiot? How much prestige I have earned in my life? I'm at such a huge level. There are companies running behind me to offer me job, and you're giving me this, we can say useless role. But Mr. Bean was he accepted, Rowan Atkinson accepted that role. He won so many hearts worldwide with his comedy roles, becoming a hero for depressed souls. People usually watched his cartoons when they were sad, they used to get happy. Technical upskilling is also an ongoing process. No matter how many certifications you have under your belt, you should always continue learning things. Ma'am was just giving my introduction. Trust me, at a particular point, even I was thinking, I really have so many certificates. I didn't knew. But ma'am had asked me for my profile, and all those certifications are there in the profile. Why do you think we keep on learning? We keep on acquiring certifications. It's not that, see, it's not that learning won't help me. You keep on learning. Every skill has got some significance in your life. It will someday or the other help you. And you will feel, okay, fine. Now I want to learn this skill. I have learned this skill. I will display this skill in the company and I will get a good job. This is what is expected. Also, in this particular slide, one more attribute is there which you have to know. If you have learned a skill, it's not like you have to go to each and everyone and then say, I have learned that skill. I am the best. I am the best. You don't have to show off. The more you show off, right? The more you show off, the more you get enemies. And enemies means negative energy around you, negative vibes around you, negative thoughts near you. And that will again, we can say, deteriorate your progress. It will bring you down. And that's not what we want to do, right? So keep a low profile. Don't let's say show off in your friends, or just focus on the learning. See, you learning a technical skill is not going to help anyone else. It's going to help you. So keep it to yourself. Tell your parents, celebrate it with them, because those are the only peoples who will be genuinely happy for whatever you're doing. Nobody else. So I hope you understood whatever I told you. I hope you understood whatever cartoons we saw. So yeah, actually, this is not the end. Actually, this is the beginning. This is where you will start yourself from tomorrow, from today, day one. Start learning some technical skill. Give some time, half an hour, 1 hour. एक आध दो एपिसोड कम देख लो जो भी देखते हो, बट कुछ शुरू करो सीखने को. You start learning those technical skills and you start getting the benefits out of them. You will start getting praises. You will start understanding new things. You will start thinking from a different perspective. And but obviously we are always there for you. Being from PVG itself, you can get my contact number from any department and they will always be helpful, always be there for helping you. So that was all from my side. You can have my details, and in any case, if you feel you need some kind of help, you can definitely get in touch with me. I think that's all from my side. I think we can have question answers for the next 10 minutes. So ma'am, can we have the mics unmuted?
Yes.
mics are unmuted. चैट पे भी डाल सकते हैं बच्चे. Just a second, Mandar.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Now the participant can unmute themselves and ask the question.
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Mandar, are you able to
Yes,
hear
hello.
her?
Yes, I am able to hear.
Yeah, my question is, when suppose I am interested in some part of, I'm interested, suppose in coding only. I'm interested in it, but at one point of time, I'll get tired of it. Like no, I don't want to do it. But it doesn't mean that I have lost interest in the particular thing. I'm just procrastinating that I will do it later. I'll do that, which doesn't mean I have stopped. I don't have interest in it. Then how do I overcome the particular thing?
We'll try to correlate this thing, okay? Have you ever gone to the gym? You know what is a gym, right?
Yes, yes,
So once a person starts going to the gym, first 4 or 5 days, he's extremely interested. He's extremely excited. Okay, I'm going to the gym. I will have six packs. I will have muscles. After the fifth day, the muscles actually start paining. See, the person is still interested in learning. The person is still interested in going to the gym, but his body pain is not allowing him to go. What does he do? He has got two options in his hand. Either he stops the gym completely, he never goes to the gym again because he does not want that small pain. The other person is he will overcome that pain. He will do less gym every day, but he will continuously do it. He will have a consistency. See, the major thing is consistency. You said correctly. At a particular time, you will get irritated. You will be tired, and you will think you don't want to do it, but you're interested. Who is telling you to do it for the whole day? Just make a rule for yourself. See, your life, you only can make your rules. Make a rule. आधा घंटा करना है सिर्फ, कुछ समझ में ना आए तो भी चलेगा, आधा घंटा करना है, 1 घंटा करना है, whatever you are planning. If you achieve that, right, that consistency, because you're doing day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, and on the day 5th you say नहीं यार इंटरेस्ट चला गया, चल मैं कभी और कर लूंगा. Even in the next 10 years that कभी और won't come. But if you say नहीं 1 घंटा तो एटलीस्ट कर ही सकती हूँ मैं, रोज करूंगी, 1 घंटा करूंगी, करते 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 you will reach a point where you will master why you are suffering, why you are getting tired. That point you will master it, and then it's very easy to continue after that. But that threshold is something which you have to capture. I hope doubt is cleared, right?
yes,